I am Nikkhil Advani. I'm here with IMDb today to tell you a few things about what I may have learned in the 32 years that I've been in the film industry.
Tell us, what does a producer do?
I think there's a misnomer that a producer is responsible only for the money. I think that's a very big part of a producer, which is figuring out how the money is going to be achieved for making this film, making the show, telling this. This whole misnomer कि the producer is in charge of money, वो voucher काटता है, वो vendor को best deal लेके आता है, and all that a good LP, a good unit production manager, a good production manager, they can all do that. I think the way term of executive producer has been bastardized and has been used so badly in the Indian film industry. Executive producer really is the person who is, in charge of everything. Is after the director or the writing room has finished writing the scripts, after the collaborating platform has given their notes, revisions have been made, scripts have been made. From draft one, a good EP is already reading and sending their notes, right? Sending their notes knowing fully well, hey guys, this sequence out of budget. You guys need to relook at it. Or, hey guys, we've got 70 days to shoot and this entire sequence, which you guys have kept 2 days to shoot, is going to be cut out in the edit. So a good EP, a good producer needs to know scripts, needs to know how to edit. I'll give an example. For instance, in season 1, when Nehru is on his way to inaugurate the heavy water pool and everything is not working, and Abhay had shot the sequence already where Homi Baba decides to go underwater. It was a very dramatic piece of water, but we had the underwater section. And I remember that Abhay wanted to shoot the underwater section. We didn't have money for it. It would have meant for us to dip into some other category line items to figure out some money from here or there or whatever to do that. And it was very difficult for me to be able to get through to him because he just kept feeling that I was somewhere or the other not able to understand that we should see him underwater. My whole thing was, hello, A, Homi Baba would not be going underwater. B, I think sending Homi Baba into a heavy water pool is in any case going to be slightly, hey, what are we doing? Because it was so authentic otherwise. But it was required. It was required from a heroic point of view. I didn't want to see him, Homi Baba, as James Bond. I think, and I could be wrong, that we would have shot it, we would have spent money shooting it, he would have removed it himself. Just to get him to sit down and say, boss, ye nahi hone wala hai. You're spending money. You don't have to spend money on something else. Take one more day to launch the rocket. It's important. Eventually, a day on shoot is only about choices.
Can you break down the different types of producers and how their roles differ?
The executive producer is a creative role, is not a production role. And I say that with a lot of sadness because I feel production is also creative. A good producer who's creative, and not the word creative producer, a good producer who's creative can actually help the director understand, or give the director that many extra days or extra hours or extra moments to shoot, which will make the film better, stronger, more relevant. In my opinion, if you look at all the top creators of shows, they are all EPs. They also get executive producer credit. Aaron Sorkin, Jesse Armstrong, Shonda Rhimes, all of them get executive producer credit along with creator credit, right? So it's a creative role. That's the first big mistake that needs to be corrected as far as Indian productions are concerned. For the Emmy Awards, the producer doesn't get nominated, the executive producer gets nominated. It is only now that our shows are being considered for international awards is that we have been compelled to change this. At least there's a reason now to change it. Or in the case of like what we have done with Stolen, which is that we are all executive producers because we came on board to use our credibility, use our muscle, use our whatever we have to get the film out there. I have not met a creative producer than Gaurav Dhingra. The stories I've heard about how they went about making this film is incredible. And really it's been a collaboration between director and producer. In my opinion, and I have tried to inculcate that in everything that we do at Emmay, is the showrunner. They may not be participating as lead writer or writers, but they are there so that they understand from get-go, boss, you're not going to get money for this, right? This is, or we are straying too far away. And they get creator credit along with the lead writer or whatever. Creative producer, I don't know what that means. I have no idea what a creative producer means. In my opinion, all producers need to be creative. If you are not creative in production, you are not going to be able to support the director's vision. You're only always going to be executing the director's vision. You're always going to be just saying कि डायरेक्टर को 50 घोड़े चाहिए तो अभी मैं उसको सिर्फ 20 घोड़े दे सकता हूँ ये प्राइस पे. अच्छा नहीं, मैंने क्या किया, मैंने 22 घोड़े कर दिया. नो, यू हैव टू बी एबल से कि ये 25 घोड़े या 50 घोड़े तुमको चाहिए. क्यों चाहिए तुमको? How do you do that is when you are breaking down the script, you are understanding the script. You as a producer are making your notes and saying, yeah, this scene is very important. It's an extremely important scene. इसमें VFX करना पड़ेगा. They are compromising by taking one day. I need to give him a second day. So I don't know what a creative producer is, right? It's a stupid title. Line producer is producing the line. It's like an assembly line, right? By scene 1 to scene 60 or scene 1 to scene 100 is like a इस दिन पे मुझे ये चाहिए, यहाँ पे ये आएगा, फिर ये आएगा, फिर ये आएगा. At this stage, what does the director need? At this stage, what the director needs? At this stage, what the director needs? And how do I assist the director to bring that on a day-to-day basis? What we call day-on-days, DOODs. DOODs is made by the direction team. It's this thing, the budget is locked, that version of the budget is locked, that version of the schedule is locked, and the line producer along with the first AD and along with the direction team and his production team is getting that day achieved for the director.
Do's for a good producer.
Learn how to write a script or read a script. You don't have to write a script, but read a script. When I say learn how to read a script, in the sense that read a script, learn how to read a script. There are so many screenplays and all that out there. Just learn how to read a script and learn how to read a script the way the director is actually envisioning the script. And learn how to read a script from a craft and narrative point of view. Read, and make notes and say, you know how this is important, and see if you can see how the script was translated, and learn that. Be, like I said, don't be afraid to be even the foolish person in the room. It's fine, it's absolutely okay. Give notes, be the voice in the room. Don't be afraid of saying what you want to say, even if it's the most foolish thing. By saying foolish things, you will be corrected and you will learn something. Stop fearing that I'm going to look very stupid by saying this. Work with a good production unit and a good production team. You have to take chances, you have to disrupt. If you are going to be part of the status quo, nobody's going to know who you are. You have to disrupt in how you achieve that day, you have to disrupt in what people are going to be seeing over there. When they see that, they are saying, oh my God, how did it happen? Hey, it happened over here because we did it inside one room. What? How do you do inside room? You disrupt, innovate, constantly innovating, right? Improvising. And 5, I would say, pitch, hustle. Because everybody at the end of the day is as insecure as you are in that room. Every single person, right? No, I can tell you nobody knows everything, but everybody has to pretend they know everything, right? So you have to constantly be that person to give who's just exuding that confidence that follow me, I know what I'm doing. आपको dolly 40,000 rupees per day पे मिल रहा है. If you're going to get a deal to get it at 25,000, why will you not take it? Oh, you'll not take it because the guy who's going to operate the dolly at 25,000 is rubbish, while the guy who's operating the dolly at 40,000 rupees is great. So at 40,000 rupees is almost 15,000 rupees more than what I'm getting at. But that guy who's operating at 40,000 rupees will allow me to finish the day much faster, and maybe I'll be able to therefore take two scenes from the next day to this day. So it's about choices. You can't learn that in a school. So if there are no schools for production, there should not be schools for production. It's a combination of these 5 things that you need to do, which will set you apart as a producer. When I shot Kal Ho Naa Ho, I remember Anil Mehta was the DOP. We were shooting the sequence where Preeti has just found out that Shah Rukh is dying of cancer, and he comes to him, and the classic scene where he says, I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you. And Anil wanted to shoot it against the Brooklyn Bridge with backlight, and he said everybody needs to be up at 4 o'clock, be over here so we can shoot at 6 o'clock. The sun will come over the bridge, I'll get a great flare into the camera and all that. It was an overcast day, no sun. He had shot everything. As Anil Mehta, he's like a genius. And I said, okay, we'll continue shooting. He said, no, now what we'll do is we'll shoot reverse. And we'll shoot in the evening because hopefully it will open up. And the sun will then be behind the Washington street bridge, on the Washington Street Bridge. I said, Anil, what are you doing? I can't have Shah Rukh waiting the whole day just for this one shot. And he told me that every other shot is yours. I make a list of about 10-15 shots that I don't compromise on. Because I know those shots will come in your promos and in your trailers and in all those kind of. Those are the shots that people will, iconic shots that people remember. Fight for those shots. Fight for those sequences. Everything else is about, if you have a good script and you have a great story, everything else is all, people are already in. At the end of the day, while they are discussing the film, they'll remember about those. He was so right. It's only about 10 shots, 10 sequences.
How to build a career as a producer? Where should one start?
Read scripts, yeah. Read scripts. I think all good producers are either directors or showrunners or executive producers who eventually will create a production unit and whatever. So, where do you start? Just like you have a list of great directors that you would like to work with, make a list of great producers and executive producers that you think that you can learn from and join them. I can tell you that over the 15 years that we've had Emmay, from the conventional and no taking away from the conventional production teams and the producers that I have worked with, the new crop of young LPs, EPs are all fab. They read scripts, they break down scripts, they can sit in a creative meeting, because usually the directors and the creative people turn and say, hello, go out. We don't want anything to do. Who are you? Your job is to get the day done. Na? But now I think that more and more it's changing.
Tell us some tools and hacks that can be of value in a producer's journey.
Movie magic screenwriter, movie magic budgeting, that's what we use. Although I emphasize that production is not only about balancing books, it's important for you to understand accounting and to understand what is the tax, these things of, or at least have people who you trust implicitly. I think trust is a very important. So actionable tools, I mean, there are so many. We use movie magic, screenwriting and budgeting, but I don't know. I'm guessing that there are so many other tools that are there out there which are helpful to, to create a kind of a workflow and to create a kind of a system to get everything in budget and to get everything on schedule. Let the director get everything they want. Yeah.